I am here with Zack Lenihan, who is one of the registration assistants here at the hub, basically where it all begins at the Volunteer Center. So we're going to talk a little bit about what it takes to put on this kind of festival. So how long have you been involved with the Northwest Folklife Festival?
I've been working with Folklife and volunteering for about the last 10 years.
And what prompted you to do that? What made you want to get involved?
It was my then girlfriend, now wife. When we met, she had just gotten hired by Folklife, and I'd loved the festival when I was younger. I'd come every year, and so volunteered one year, and they appreciated everything that I did, and so they asked me to come back and work the next year, and I've been coming back every year since then.
And does your wife volunteer with you?
No, she does not. She had been an employee at the time. She was with Folklife for about 5 years. She moved on to another event company in town, but now she works here at Seattle Center, so it would be a conflict of interest for her to work at Folklife anymore because they're a client.
So what does one do to become a volunteer?
You have to be willing, you have to be able, you have to have an interest, and then you have to be available and register with the organization. We do a lot of our registration online. We have a website that's really convenient to use. It's northwestfolklifefestival.org, and there's a system there where people can find available shifts, and they can put in their information so that we can contact them, and then we have some other ways to volunteer as well. If technology doesn't work, we also do walk-in registration. And when people arrive at the festival, if they've never heard about it before, didn't know they could volunteer, they can come up here to volunteer registration, and we can get them registered and find available shifts where we have needs. So those are the two primary ways that people can get involved.
Do people get to choose where they want to volunteer? Like if you have an interest in a specific venue or food or something like that, do you get to kind of decide where you want to give your time?
It's pretty much first come, first serve. We fill needs as available. We try to match people's skill sets to the needs that we have. And sometimes things fill up really quickly. There are a lot of people that want to volunteer with the festival and have been volunteering for a long time. So they have shifts that they want to do that happen at certain times a day. So those end up going really quickly. And then if you still want to be involved, we can give you whatever else is available. And we try to make sure that we don't have somebody doing something they're not physically able to do, or maybe that they don't have a good skill set for doing.
Right. So as far as security goes, is the Seattle Police Department your security, or do you ask for volunteers for security as well?
We have multiple forms of security. We have a security department within the festival staff. We also have a official company that we work with, a third party. And then in addition to that, SPD is here on the festival grounds helping out with security.
So what would you say is the best part of the festival for you?
Ooh, the best part of the festival? I would say that it is the diversity of the experience. Between just walking the grounds and having the buskers there and having people that are singing and people that are dancing. Working in volunteer registration, I don't get a lot of time to get into venues to see showcases. It just doesn't work with my schedule. Right. So there's a lot of things at the festival that I miss out on. But I think the part that I like the best is just being on the grounds and being surrounded by the spectacle of all the freaky, funky, folky people that come on out for the festival.
So do you plan to continue to do this for as long as you can, or?
Yeah, in fact, I have a baby on the way. Well, I don't, my wife does.
You're a big part of that.
I did my job. So the baby's on the way, and hopefully this time next year I'll have somebody strapped into a Bjorn walking the grounds with me.
Well, and that's the other thing I was going to mention is that I see a lot of families and kids, and it just seems to be a really, family-oriented event in a lot of ways. Would you say that?
I would say that this is one of the better family experiences in Seattle. And in fact, something else we get a lot of, and I would love to see more of, is families that volunteer
Together
as a group.
Right.
It's a different kind of experience. You know, there's things that you can do as a family where you're consuming an experience, but this is the kind of event where you're participating, you're putting something back into the community.
Right.
So it's a different way to bond with your family members, and we have some parents and kids that have been volunteering as teams, as parent-kid teams, for years. In fact, we had a group that was here last night doing something that we call pitching and catching. And what that is when we get a spokesperson who will get on stage and they'll make a fundraising pitch to an audience at a specific venue. Well, in the past, we had a husband-son team, or not husband, sorry, a mother-son team who used to go around, and the son would walk on stilts, and the mom would accompany him to make sure nothing happened, and they would do what we called roving button sales. And we changed that program into the pitch and catch team. He came back with his mom to help out with this specific fundraising pitch. And not only that, but he brought a friend with him. He had passed down the stilts to another younger kid, and they all showed up together as part of this pitch catch team. It was really fantastic. They put the stilts on here and went out and raised a bunch of money for Folklife. It was really exciting.
Thank you so much for watching. This is Jessica Riggs coming to you from the Northwest Folklife Festival.